Hey everyone, Paul here. Wanted to give you guys a quick training video for the end on Friday for check-in, and then for the end of the responsibilities you guys will have for the evening. First off, thank you again for helping us with this. It's going to be awesome. There are tons of details for the whole night, but you really only have to be responsible for your area. Check-in is going to be crucial for a few reasons. Number one, this is where we are going to divide people into their teams, either of being infected or of being just regular human survivors. I'll get to that in just a minute. The other big thing are going to be getting the info of first-time guests. The way it'll work, and I'm gonna kind of, once again, this is not a high-tech video, we're just gonna deal with it. If I mess up or anything like that, it's okay. We're just gonna do this like we are in person. So we're here at the check-in desk. This is the little children's check-in desk that you have over by the entrance, by the theater. Over here, we are going to have a bunch of different things. First off, we're going to have some first-time guest cards here on the counter. We're also going to have either iPads or iPhones. For people who bring guests with them, they're going to bring them to this table. If they don't, real quick, let me show you the other one. If they don't bring any guests with them, they're going to take them over to that table over there. So if a person who comes to Pond Lake a lot, comes and they don't bring anyone with them, we're going to have them go over there and do the procedure I'm about to tell you. But if they don't, if they have a guest with them, bring them over here. First, we'll have the first-time guest sign in, and by filling out some info, some first-time guest cards that we'll have out here, they'll give us their info, and then, regardless of whether they've come before or whether it's their first time, we are going to have them, adjusting the phone, we're going to have them do a simple little process to figure out whether they are a zombie or a human. We're going to have an app on either phones or an iPad, and they're going to put their thumb on this little screen that you'll see when you get here tomorrow. We'll show it to you in person, and it's going to scan their thumbprint, and it's going to either say access granted or access denied. If it's access granted, they become a human. If it's access denied, they become a person infected with the virus, and they become kind of a zombie-ish type character. If they're human, we're going to send them down to the cafe area down there. If they are infected, we are going to have them go through the door at the end of the hall to the warehouse and towards the care center. We're going to have food in both places for them to hang out, so whenever they're done checking in, you just have them go there. Now, with that thumbprint scanner, it is not really random, actually. There's a little trick that we'll show you in person. If they just put their thumb on the screen, it's going to say access denied, and they will become a zombie, which the majority of the people who are playing are going to be zombies. If you tap a little part of the screen that we'll show you tomorrow, and they put their thumb on it, it'll say access granted, and they'll become a human. Now, the big kind of, I won't say tough part, but definitely the detailed part, and we'll have to work together tomorrow, is going to be dividing them into humans. We have to have exactly 8 teams of 8 human beings. Now, we already have human leaders for every team, so really we need 7 more people for every team. Where it gets a little bit complicated, because if that were just the case, we just needed 56 people. If there were 7 of you working, we would say, hey, each of you assign 8 random people to be a human. Job done, easy. Where it gets a little hairy is that we've already pre-assigned some people to be humans because they won a competition on a Wednesday night, and because some of the leaders are bringing friends of theirs that don't go to Pond Lake, which is awesome. That's why we encourage them to it. That's why we're doing what we're doing. So at this point, here's what we're going to do. We already got the amount of people who are going to be pre-assigned middle schoolers to teams because they won a competition. For our human leaders, we're going to get a final count from them tomorrow based on how many people they're bringing. And so let's say after the pre-assigned people and the people that the leaders are bringing, we have 28 spots left. If there's 7 of you, each of you will be responsible for assigning 4 people together, 4 different people, I should say, to be on a team. One other thing that we'll have to talk through, and I'm probably going to be down here by check-in a lot to help you guys, me or Patrick, just to kind of help you through any situations that might occur. As much as possible, we want to keep guests with the people who brought them. And so that'll be a little bit different thing. So for example, although overall you're going to be assigning it randomly, like the human beings, if, for example, someone who ended up being a human being was a regular attender of Pond Lake and they brought a guest, you would then assign their guest to be a human being as well, or a zombie if they were a zombie. We want to try to keep people together as much as possible. If someone brings a humongous group, and by humongous, I'm thinking just, when I say humongous, just a good amount of people, let's say over 4 or 5 people. If it's over 4 or 5, I'm fine with you splitting them up as long as at least a few of them are together. The person who brought them doesn't have to, like for example, if someone went crazy and brought 15 people, the person who brought them doesn't have to be with all 15 people. Instead, you could easily split them up 7 and 8 or some other kind of way. We just want to make sure that at the end of the day, no matter what we do, the big things you have to keep in mind are you want to, number one, make sure we have exactly 8 teams of 8. So once we have all those people, it is shut down. Everyone becomes a zombie. Number 2, you'll have to know, and we'll show you how to do the whole thumbprint thing. And then number 3, as much as possible, keep guests with the people who brought them, or at least with people of their groups. They're not lonely. We don't want to end up with the first-time guests by themselves for the entire night. That's definitely something we don't want to do. That covers pretty much everything. We're going to have you guys get here at 6 o'clock on Friday to run, or Friday, which is tomorrow, to run through everything in person again, answer any questions you might have, and let you all get on the same page. I really think, especially with those of you who are doing check-in, once you get on the same page, I mean, you're going to rock and roll this thing, and it's going to be great. If you have any questions, email me or text me, and I'll try to answer them for tomorrow. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, y'all.